Hello and welcome to Ragnall's Forge. Today we're going to be having a look at Astrid here. Astrid is a Blood Knight, and there's been a few requests on the UOAlive Discord around this build. This is a build that myself and a few of my friends have sort of put together, and it's a very viable build. It's very newbie friendly, and it works. It takes a lot of the mechanics from things like the Sampire and the regular Paladin build, and sort of compiles it all into one easy to use warrior build. Now the main things about this build are that it's a uses a one-handed weapon and a shield. The main reason for this is it helps with defences, and it also helps get in all of our stats and things very achievable. You'll notice with Astrid, her resistances are a little bit different to what you would normally see. That's because a lot of her gear has been refined. We've taken away from the maximum resistances in order to bunk up our maximum defense chance. And I'll go into that in a little bit more detail after I've gone through the build itself. So the build compromises of a main weapon skill. So in this case, Astrid has got swordsmanship. I do have mace fighting here as well. I do have 120 mace fighting on this character, just because I was originally mace fighting and then switched over to swordsmanship. We've got tactics. Tactics is basically our damage dealing element of swordsmanship. Without tactics, we won't be able to deal any damage. Also lets us use our special abilities. And in this case, I'm using a broadsword, so we've got armor ignore, and we've got crushing blow. Mainly be using armor ignore here. We've got chivalry at 120. Having chivalry at 120 is preferred. The main reason for this is we're going to be using divine fury, and at 120 chivalry, we get 15% hit chance, 20 damage increase, 15 swing speed increase, and we only lose 10% defense chance. So we're able to keep our maximum defense chance. Gives us a nice boost to hit chance, nice boost to damage, and a nice boost to our swing speed. Necromancy at 100, we're going to be using Vampiric Embrace. That gives us 20% life drain on hit, 15 stamina regen, 3 mana regen, but it does cost us 25% to our fire resistance. Now we can make this resistance back up to 70 just by making sure that the gear that we wear gives us a total of 95 fire resist, that way we stay at 70. Resistance spells. I like resistance spells. I don't like being paralysed in the game. I know there's ways to break that, but for me personally, I like resistance spells. You could go down the route of having anatomy, and that'll let you deal some extra damage, or you could go with focus, or you could even go with meditation. All of those skills would benefit you in one way or another. Parry. We obviously want to have parry. It's a defensive skill, and we're going to be using a shield. So having parry just makes sense. I have it at 120, you can take it to 100, you can go 110 or any variation of that. My thoughts behind this build is I want to be as defensive as possible, hence why I've got very high defense chance, and I've also got 120 parry, and like I say, we're going to be parrying and defending a lot of the hits that we take. Those are the main skills that I go with for this build. Now you can vary this and you can change things up a little bit. You can drop some skills down from 120 down to others, and you can increase, like you could drop resistance spells completely and take anatomy and healing and a combination, with some jewelry. You'll definitely be able to get the stats there. Overall, this is Astrid's full build. We've got 37 hit chance, 60 defense chance, 45 low mana cost. We've got 3/6 casting, all the resistances are maxed out. We've got 95% damage increase, we've got a little tiny bit of luck, 180 health, 203 stamina, and 92 mana total. Astrid is a human. I would recommend, if you are starting off the build, go with an elf. A female elf specifically. And there's two reasons for that. One, an elf gets 20 mana, gets a bonus of 20 mana to the mana pool, it's a racial bonus, and being a female character means that when you're doing the demon champ spawn, so Semidar, the succubus that spawn during that won't deal as much damage to you. Succubus will deal bonus damage to male characters. Now, the types of armor that you want to have for this build. Now, Astrid, like I said, Astrid is a little bit different to the norm. I've gone with a build that's using armor refinements to increase my maximum defense chance at the cost of some of my resistances here. But I'm using the breeches of warding. We've got the gloves of feudal grip. We've got the Holy Mail Mystical Tabard. The Gorget that I wear is actually a woodland one, so that's giving me hit chance and defense chance and some low mana cost and resistances. We've got the helmet. The talisman I'm using is a Conjurer's Trinket. Eventually I will go up to using the Enchantress cameos, and I'll try and get a full set of those eventually. And we've also got a Crimson that we've transmogged into a sword belt. And the tunic is the Lieutenant of the Britannia Guard sash that I've transmogged with tunic. I just prefer the way that looks. And we're also using the detective boots with the 4 intelligence bonus as well. Standard Dexa style jewellery. Yeah, that's pretty much how Astrid is. Now the idea behind how the Blood Knight works. We want to have Divine Fury up, and we want to have Consecrate Weapon up pretty much all the time. We've got Cursed Weapon, so I do carry around some Pig Iron, because Pig Iron is the only thing used for Cursed Weapon. This is why we've got the 40 Spirit Speak. When I cast Cursed Weapon, that gives me an extra 50% life drain on hit for about 12 to 13 seconds. So if in a situation where my health's draining really quickly, I can pop that, especially with the faster casting and faster cast recovery I've got. I can pop that, and this is going to give me a huge chunk of my health back every single hit. When you combine the Cursed Weapon with the Vampiric Embrace, we're essentially getting 70% life drain on hit. Life drain works slightly different to Life Leech. Life drain is basically the percentage, so Vampiric Embrace, so 20% of all damage that I deal, I leech that back in life. Every single hit. Life Leech has a percentage of a percentage, and it just works entirely different, whereas Life Drain is a more guaranteed way of healing. Divine Fury, as I mentioned before, gives us a lot of bonuses. Consecrate Weapon. The way Consecrate Weapon works is it will take the damage type of my weapon and convert it to whatever the weakness of the creature I'm fighting is. So it basically turns my broadsword into a 100% elemental type for the creature that I'm fighting. So if I'm fighting a dragon, for example, all the damage that I deal will come out as cold. And that also gives us a further 15% damage bonus as well. The special abilities that we're going to be using, Armor Ignore, like I said before. Armor Ignore is fantastic. It deals a heck of a lot of damage. There is a tooltip on this. That's Armor Pierce. Probably gone past it. Armor Ignore, the very first one. There we go. Ignores the target's resists, deals slightly lower damage than the weapon's maximum potential. It says that in practice you'll be dealing a lot more damage if you're able to keep Armor Ignore up at all times. Some of the notable skills that we're going to be using, Enemy of One. Enemy of One's Chivalry skill lets us deal 50% extra damage to the target that we are attacking. However, the caveat to that is anything else that attacks us, we're going to take 100% more damage from it. So if you're fighting a greater dragon and a regular dragon comes along, he's going to be dealing 100% extra damage to you. It casts very quick, so you can refresh it basically for every monster type that you fight. You've got things like Cleanse by Fire. Whilst we're in Vampiric Embrace, we are immune to a lot of poisons, but if we do end up getting a poison that is dealing damage to us, we can always cast Cleanse by Fire to get rid of that. And we've also got Remove Curse as well through the Chivalry spells. Remove Curse is great because it lets us get rid of things like, Curse. Curse will lower our main stats. That's going to lower our health pool, it's going to lower our stamina pool, and it's ultimately going to lower our mana pool. So having Remove Curse, being able to cleanse any curses that we have on us, is also fantastic. So we've got quite a lot of utility, and of course with Chivalry we've got Sacred Journey as well for getting around. So how does it work when we get into a fight? Well, I think the easiest way to do that is to just go and get into a fight. Let's head over to Destard. Destard's a good place to test things. We've got dragons here. I have a Dragon Slayer broadsword. We've got our Armor Ignore ready. I have a macro that I use that basically keeps my Divine Fury and Consecrate Weapon up at all times. And we'll go with Enemy of One as well. And let's attack a dragon. So this is how it goes. Very straightforward. Very straightforward for killing dragons. So let's just have a look at the survivability. And we'll kill a few dragons here. And this is with a single target weapon. We are going to use a variety of different weapons. I also have a whip in my backpack. Again, that's a Dragon Slayer as well. A whip is fantastic because its main abilities are... For swordsmanship, we've got Whirlwind and we've got Bleed. Whirlwind is the one that we're going to want. Whirlwind is an AoE type spell. Ability, sorry. It's going to hit everything in an 8x8 around us. So every creature that is completely around us is going to get hit with Whirlwind. Whirlwind will also apply things like hit mana leech and the life drain that we have. So that means it's going to proc on everything that's around us. This is one of the strengths of this build. And it also, similar to how a Sampire would work as well, everything that's around us gets hit. We're able to drain the life from everything. So if we're hitting things for about 100 damage, and we're draining 20% of the life from each of those hit, you know, we've got the potential to have 8 things around us, we could be draining 160 health per hit, per swing. We're also at the maximum swing speed as well, so we're hitting a lot. We're also dealing cold area on this weapon, so we're dealing a lot of damage. We're lowering the attack of everything, and we're lowering the defense of everything, so it means we're hitting more often, and they're struggling to hit us. Like I said before, we're at 60 defense chance on this bit, on this gear setup. That means that we've got an even less chance to be hit, and then because we've got 120 parry as well, we've got about a 35% chance to parry any attacks that do come through past that 60 defense chance. So let's put that into practice and let's grab a few dragons together. Here we go. Here's about what, 6 dragons. You see my health starting to drop down a little bit. Let's just let it drop down on purpose. Grab another couple of dragons. Right, here we go, 37 health. Oh. Whoops! We died. Never mind, I got a bit too cocky. So here's a great example of one of the systems on UOAlive that you can do if the worst happens. The option there was to take me to the Corpse Summoner, which we've done. Gone to the Corpse Summoner in Britain. Double click on this guy. We're able to retrieve our body, and it will cost us gold each time we do it. But not only that, it will cost us all the gold that we had in our inventory at the same time. So it's going to cost us 15,000 gold, which is withdrawn from our bank. Any gold that we had on our body at the time as well is also taken. Consider that a tax for the convenience of being able to resurrect your body wherever you want. Alright, so that was a bit of a mistake on my part. Let's get ready again. So I'm going to cast some Empiric Embrace. I like to use scrolls, but you can just carry regs around in your backpack. I just prefer scrolls. Alright, so we've done that. Let's head back over to Destard. Let's not attack the healer. Give ourselves a couple of little heals. Let's get ready. Get Whirlwind ready. Let's go. And there we go. When you get everything right, it works very well. As you can see, my health very rarely dipped there. I have been cursed, so we'll just get our curse removal on, and that's cleared up. Let's go and see if we can find some more dragons. Now we don't have Divine Fury, sorry, we don't have enemy on one this time because there's a couple of greater dragons here. Greater dragons are a little bit more dangerous. You can see our health dropped right down there, but it's come straight back up again. If things were getting a little bit more difficult, we could always pop Curse Weapon, and that would give us a massive boost to our health pool as well. Now it is only the 2 greater dragons that are left, so we could cast Enemy of 1 just to deal some extra damage. Come back here, you. And there we have it. That was a nice pile of dragons. We've got another dragon coming. Just pop on my curse removal script. This basically helps me remove all the curses so I don't have to worry about it. Here we go, another nice little group of dragons. See my health drop right down there. But we're able to maintain it pretty well. Curse removal's going off. Macros are keeping Divine Fury and Consecrate Weapon up. And then every time it hits, I'm leeching back lots of health. And this is how the Blood Knight will work. Playstyle is quite similar to a Sampire. One of the main differences is we're not relying on a lot of the Bushido spells because we don't have Bushido. Instead, we're relying on our parry chance. So you can see there on my shield, 35% parry chance on the last parry attack, and we've also got the 60 defense chance as well. Makes our defenses very, very, very strong. In terms of what weapon stats we want to have Mana Leech as a given. Always want to have Mana Leech. Having a Slayer really, really, really helps as well. Oh, we've gone to the wrong one. Just go through. Having Slayer helps. The more damage you deal, the more life you leech. Having hit lower attack and hit lower defense, they apply debuffs to the enemy. Hit lower defense means we're able to hit the enemy because it reduces their defenses by 25%, makes it so that we can hit them more often, and hit lower attack reduces the enemy's attack by 25% as well, means that it makes it a lot harder for them to hit us initially. And again, if you combine that with the defenses that we have, the defense chance and the parry, just means that our chances of actually being hit is very low to begin with. But yeah, you can find more information and a full breakdown of Astrid's gear on the Ultima Live, the UOAlive forum. And if people do have any questions around this character, the build, or anything like that, you can always drop me a message and give me a shout on the UOAlive Discord. Thanks very much, and catch you next time.